When we speak about men's grooming, the beard usually comes first. You may choose to cut it off completely or choose to keep it. But once you keep it, how do you maintain it to suit your personality? Welcome, my name is Rama, and with me tonight is hair and beard expert Ziwa Kennedy of Hair by Ziwa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Going back 4 or 5 years, you had one of the biggest launches in Kampala for a hairstylist. Came with too much energy, and you've maintained that ever since. What's the magic behind that?
The magic, I would say, is knowing what you want and also having like a dream and a focus. I guess that always drives you to whatever it is that you're doing, because everything that you're doing, you always have to keep referring back to your focus and your mission and your whatever it is that you want.
And how is business? Of course, we're in the pandemic. How is it treating you so far?
I won't lie. Of course, I've been affected a bit because the sales is not as high as they used to be before. And then we also have this thing of social distancing, following SOPs, whereby you have to cut down the number of clients you have in the shop so that you don't have too many crowds. But other than that, I think business is still okay because people are still getting their hair done.
I know.
People still want to keep looking fresh. So yes.
Well, I totally understand. Well, for the people watching us, if you don't know Hair by Ziwa, he's a hair expert and beard expert who's been in the industry for about 5 years, had one of the biggest launches, and I've seen most of the celebrities do their hair from here.
A few years ago, because I've been doing hair for almost 10 years now. When I started, men were not as fashion forward as they are now. Men would not pay too much attention to their hair or beards then as they are now. So trends have changed a lot at the point whereby right now men make reservations to come for grooming, not just their hair but also to get their nails and feet done.
Nails, pedicure, manicure.
Yes. So I guess these days people are responding well, positively to the whole new trend of grooming.
And why do you think so?
I think it's just a new trend. Or people are very comfortable now in their own skin, because before people used to say that's something for women and now this is thing for men. But I think that men these days are becoming more masculine or more comfortable in their skin as men, so they don't really care what your opinion is. So I think maybe that's the only reason why.
And of course we've seen celebrities change their looks as concerned with hair. You personally had dreadlocks some time back. Of course your story is a little bit different, but you could give a hint to the people who are watching the campaign of end substance abuse that you had previously, that is still ongoing, and if you have a very keen eye, he still has it on his shirt, and substance abuse. What was the reason behind all that?
I'm a recovering drug addict. In my past, I used to have issues with drugs and alcohol, and I got to a point where I had to stop and quit. I went to rehab.
How was the process?
The process has been very successful, I would say. I'm almost making 4 years sober, and I'm proud of myself. I've never been so proud of myself than before. Yes. So that's the reason why one of the reasons why I cut off my hair, because I wanted to transform and end my past, leave my past behind.
You wanted something different from the hair,
yes.
And it all came down to your dress code as well. Previously, you were wearing shorts.
Because I was feeling hot all the time. I was high. It was hot. It was hot, so it felt hot all the time. So I had to wear shorts and simple clothes. Yes.
Why is it important for a man out there who is fashion forward to trust a professional hairstylist like yourself?
Well, for starters, for me that have failed to grow beards. First off, you need to know, we are mostly talking about the guys that can grow beards.
Beard growers.
No, that means you. No, because for beards, either you have it or you don't have it, and it's mostly from your genes. I've seen so many people trying to grow beards when they can't grow beards. It's usually there's so many different factors for failing to grow a beard. Sometimes if it's genetic, it's almost impossible to grow a beard if it's within your genes not to have beards. But if you have beards, for people who are lucky, I call it being lucky these days because everyone wants it.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
So how to groom it? Most importantly, you have to wash your beard every day. Whenever you wash your face, because these are facial hairs, whenever you're washing your face, because you need to wash your face every day, you have to wash it with warm water.
Guys, get your pens and papers now. We start now.
Yes. But it's very simple steps. It's less than 3 steps, I think. The first step is to wash. When you wash your face, make sure you wash your face with a warm towel, warm water. and then you can use a towel to dry it out. So when the beard is damp, that's when you apply a bit of beard oil, so that you keep the beard moisturized. Maybe the only thing I'll talk about are people that grow bumps after shaving.
What's the solution? Because I've seen many of those.
Because so many people, when they go to the salon to shave, they tend to over shave everything, because you're not supposed to remove everything completely. Because especially us men with curly hair, when the hair is coming out of your skin, it touches the skin. So when it touches the skin, the body reacts. It's like a foreign body that has come, so it creates that bump, those bumps that men you see getting. So the most important thing when you're shaving, don't shave everything off completely, just leave on just something small. And then also, if you have to maintain shaving after 3 days, for guys who remove everything, make sure your hair doesn't grow out. You don't go more than 3 days minus shaving. Because the moment that thing touches the skin, that's when you get bumps.
Does it have to be personal care? For someone who can't come to the salon, like every after 3 days, what advice do you have for someone like that?
Then they have to learn how to do it. There's so many ways you could buy shaving foam, and then you can also get like a shaving stick. That should be very easy. You just learn, because it's personal grooming. Like the way everyone can shave their armpit hairs, it's the same thing as shaving your beard hair as well. Yes.
Then there's an issue of these gaps in the beards.
Oh, a patchy beard.
Yes.
A patchy beard, that's also lack of proper care, proper grooming. Like I said, if you don't comb your beard properly, and if you don't apply the proper beard oils, then you will not be solved. The most important thing is to create an environment that is good for growth. It's like a forest when you're trying to grow trees. So you have to make sure like you keep watering it properly and maintaining it, like fertilizing it.
Well, you are talking about oils. What ingredients need to be, what essential oils need to be in that kind of oil that can help in the beard health?
There's so many different oils that you look at. First off, eucalyptus. The most important thing, let me first explain the science behind growth. Hair growth, not just beards, but hair growth. It's always about blood flow. If you are, let's say, losing your hairline in the certain areas, that means that you're not getting enough, there's not enough blood flowing in that area. That's what causes a lot of hair loss, all these areas.
I'm going to call you a hair doctor now.
No, just, yes. But so whenever you stimulate the blood in that area, that's when the hair starts growing out. So when you're applying oils, when you're choosing oils, you need to get oils that are going to stimulate blood flow in that area. So in most cases, it doesn't really matter which oils you're using, but there are just a few specific oils. There is eucalyptus, because eucalyptus, even when you use it, you can feel it, you can smell it. Eucalyptus, coconut oil, just a little bit of coconut oil, and shea oil, mint oil. There's specific oils they're just like 7 oils that you can use.
Eucalyptus, mint.
Yeah, mint oil, eucalyptus. You can use a bit of avocado oil, the shea oil.
And where do we get all this? I've seen products.
Well, for most times, for us, we try to create all these oils and we bring them closer for our clients.
And they're affordable.
Yes, they're very affordable.
Out there,
yes, of course.
To grow the beard.
Yes, it's very affordable because we sell it for 20,000, a small thing of 50 ml, and I think it can take you for up to 2 months.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, it can take you up to 2 months. It depends on how many amounts you're using. You just use once daily. It can take up to 2 months.
So what recommendations do you have for someone who's been cutting the beard but hopes to grow it? How do they start? What should the process be like?
Well, the first stage is to stop cutting the beard. So you need to first stop cutting your beard, then you let it go out. But before you start, you have to make sure like I said, do not overshave the beard when you're shaving. So when you've gone through that stage after the 3 days and you've not developed any bumps, then stop cutting it. But make sure that you wash your beard daily and you apply a bit of oil, beard oil every morning. Yes, and then also comb it out after application. And then just let it rest.
It's a whole process, but of course you have to live with it if you love the good beard.
And when you apply the oils, you just keep stimulating, because don't just put it on the hairs only. You apply on the
skin.
Yes, on the skin. And then you keep stimulating the blood flow. Guys out there, the most important thing, the biggest mistake that most people do is to shave wrongly. When you're shaving, like I said, step number 1, do not let your barber overshave everything or yourself when you're shaving. If you want to do it yourself, please do not exceed 3 days without shaving your beard. Every time, unless if you're growing it out. If you're growing it out, don't forget to wash your beard every morning and applying some oils every morning.
All right, thank you. And of course, my recommendation is try out these hair oils, eucalyptus, mint. They're available in very many salons. And of course, my sister has Bettina Tiena, my co-host as well. She has that oil that can help you maintain your beard.